Admiral Thex Moran, of the Hegemony's Third Conquest Fleet, stood before the tactical hologram, his forearms crossed in contemplation, as he studied the simple message that had been broadcast across 17 star systems. The transmission had reached them 3 rotations ago, emanating from the small blue world the natives called Earth, a planet the Hegemony had marked for subjugation in their next expansion phase. The message was elegantly simple, broadcast in perfect hegemonic standard, despite the fact that no formal contact had ever been established with the human species. It consisted of precise stellar coordinates forming a sphere roughly 50 light-years in radius around the Sol system, followed by a single sentence that had caused considerable debate among the fleet strategists. "Beyond this boundary, you are not welcome." Fleet Intelligence Coordinator Vex Haller materialized beside the Admiral through quantum tunnel projection, her serpentine form coiling, with what passed for amusement among her species. "The biological survey teams confirm our initial assessment, Admiral. The humans possess no faster-than-light capabilities, no quantum manipulation technology, and their most advanced weapons are still chemically propelled projectiles. Their defensive line is meaningless." Thex Moran's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Yet they knew our language. They knew we were coming. A lucky guess, perhaps. Or they intercepted our communications somehow. Does it matter? The species has drawn a line around their system with no means to enforce it. It's almost quaint. The Admiral's tactical display shifted to show the current disposition of the Hegemony's forces. 300 dreadnoughts, each one capable of sterilizing a planet's surface, accompanied by support vessels that outnumbered the humans' entire orbital infrastructure by several orders of magnitude. The mathematical certainty of victory was overwhelming. "Sir," interrupted Communications Officer Zektar, his chitinous frame vibrating with urgency, "we're receiving another transmission from the human world." The holographic display flickered, showing a single human male standing in what appeared to be a rudimentary command center. He was unremarkable by galactic standards, a bipedal carbon-based lifeform with typical mammalian characteristics. But his eyes held something that made Thex Moran's combat-hardened instincts whisper warnings. "I am Ambassador Chen Wei, speaking on behalf of the United Earth Government," the human said, his translated words carrying across the bridge with crystalline clarity. "Your fleet has crossed the boundary we established. This is your final warning to withdraw beyond the 50 light-year perimeter." Vex Haller's form rippled with what might have been laughter. "Admiral, shall I transmit our standard surrender terms?" But Thex Moran found himself studying the human's expression more carefully. There was no fear there, no desperation of a vastly outmatched enemy. Instead, there was something that reminded him of the look he'd seen in the eyes of Hegemony battle commanders just before they unleashed their most devastating weapons. Ambassador Chen, Thex Moran, activated the return transmission protocol. "I am Admiral Thex Moran of the Hegemony Third Fleet. Your species possesses no technology capable of threatening our forces. Your warning is noted but dismissed. Prepare for subjugation." The human's expression didn't change. "Admiral, you misunderstand our position. We are not threatening you with our technology." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in puzzled silence. "Sir," the sensor operator called out, his voice carrying a note of confusion. "I'm detecting massive gravitational anomalies throughout our fleet formation. The readings don't match any known stellar phenomena." Thex Moran's 4 eyes focused on the tactical display as impossible readings began flooding the sensors. The space around his fleet was changing, not in any way that corresponded to known physics, but changing nonetheless. "Admiral," Vex Haller's amusement had evaporated. "The human's second transmission is continuing." Ambassador Chen's image reappeared, still wearing that unsettling expression of calm certainty. "You see, Admiral, when we said we drew a line in the stars, we were being quite literal. Our species has had assistance in establishing our boundaries. The gravitational readings spiked impossibly high, and suddenly the tactical display showed something that made Thexmoran's blood freeze in his veins. Emerging from what had appeared to be empty space, massive structures began materializing around the hegemony fleet. They were not ships in any conventional sense. They appeared to be made of crystallized space-time itself, their surfaces reflecting geometries that hurt to observe directly. The entities that helped us establish our perimeter prefer to remain anonymous, Chen continued. Conversationally, they have been watching galactic civilization for some time. They find most species' expansionist tendencies tedious, but generally harmless. However, they have taken a particular interest in humanity's development and have decided we require a period of uninterrupted growth. The structures surrounding the hegemony fleet began to pulse with energies that registered on instruments but corresponded to no known phenomena. Ships at the fleet's periphery simply ceased. Not destroyed, they vanished from reality entirely, as if they had never existed. Your species crossed our boundary, knowing it existed, Ambassador Chen said, his tone remaining maddeningly polite. Our benefactors consider this a significant breach of cosmic etiquette. They have asked me to inform you that your fleet will be relocated to your home system as a courtesy. Any future incursions beyond our perimeter, however, will result in the complete removal of your species from this dimension. Thexmoran watched in horror as more of his ships vanished, their disappearance so complete that even the quantum foam barely registered their absence. All ships, emergency jump protocols. Retreat 2. Admiral, Chen interrupted, somehow monitoring their secure communications. That won't be necessary. The relocation is already beginning. Reality twisted around the remaining hegemony vessels, space folding in ways that bypassed every known law of physics. In the span of a single heartbeat, the Third Conquest Fleet found itself in orbit around their home world, thousands of light-years from where they had been moments before. The final transmission from Earth reached them as they struggled to comprehend what had occurred. Ambassador Chen appeared one last time on their screens, still wearing that expression of polite finality. The line remains drawn, Admiral. We suggest you inform your government that Earth's boundaries are non-negotiable. Our benefactors are quite fond of us, and their patience with trespassers is limited. As the transmission ended, Thexmoran stared at the tactical display, showing his decimated fleet in orbit around his home world. The hegemony had crossed humanity's line, knowing it existed, and now they understood that some boundaries were enforced by powers beyond their comprehension. Earth's line in the stars remained inviolate, protected by entities that treated galactic civilizations like children playing with dangerous toys.